spicy coconut braised tofu. My way. A little healthy-ish meal I've been eating lately. It's a good way to take a break from all the heavy Thanksgiving stuff. Here's some inspirations here. I thought of Bicol Express from Filipino cuisine. Pretty much braised coconut pork. I've made it before with chicken. Since I think about Thai food a lot, I use Thai cuisine to think about the balance of my flavors. Salty, sweet, sour, spicy, bitter. I didn't want any bitterness. I tried sour, it didn't work. But I did want salty, sweet, and spicy. The overall dish is not very spicy, but I'll give you ways to add some complexity to this with pops of spice. I just thought of it right now. I've seen it before. And I've always wanted to see what tofu is like when it's braised. I'm gonna get into it. Also, pretty much with the braising, it allows tofu to soak up some of that braising liquid. It still tastes like seared tofu. That's what I'm gonna do with it. The braising liquid will add a little bit of its flavor to the tofu. Also, after that sear, depending on how much of a crust you form, really softens the tofu. It makes it spongy, but in a nice way. Got you? Yeah? All right, let's go. We got our aromatics. I want you to get 1.5 of large shallot. I don't have it right now, so I'm using 1/8 of a yellow onion, medium large. You can use red, 2-inch knob of ginger, 5 medium large cloves of garlic. Fire alarm's going on. I'm burning down their place, or they're doing a good sear. 2 serranos. Now here's the thing with this. Serranos are supposed to be sauteed with the ginger and garlic. Since you're slicing it, that's not gonna add a lot of spice to the overall liquid. Barely any other spice is gonna seep into it. All it's gonna add is its flavor. So if you truly want spice in this dish, you wanna add some crunch, stir it in as soon as you're done cooking. That way you get pops of spice instead of the overall dish, every bite you take is spicy. Now do what you want with that information and decide how you want your dish to come out. I'm gonna do both. If you don't de-seed it and take out the membrane, there's gonna be a lot of spice. If you do that route, add more sweetener. Thinly slice the serranos, chunk your ginger, wanna easily mince it, smash, 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 smash. Cut through, thinly, very roughly mince. You don't cook ginger enough, it has this raw tinge to it that has its own spiciness that I want in my dish. So don't cut it too much. Don't worry, it's gonna braise a little bit in the liquid. Some of it's gonna go away. Same thing with the garlic, but light. Once again, rough mince. While these aromatics are gonna add flavor, I want you to taste them. That's why they're being cut a little bit on the larger side. Take your onion and thinly slice it. Alright, let's start sweet. People usually start salty. 1.5 teaspoon white sugar, the sweetness. Now for a more complex sweetness and caramel-like, sweet soy sauce. It's hard to get 1.5, so go 2 if you want. Salty, funky, great flavor. 1 tablespoon fish sauce. Salty as well, and has a nice brown flavor. Soy sauce. That's it, and mix until the sugar is fully dissolved. 1 block of extra firm tofu, add 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, marinate at least 15 minutes, or up to 24 hours in the fridge covered. This is a vegetarian dish. On my other test, one thing I want to point out, this right here is frozen. So if you see my Thai cashew tofu video, science says this has more open pores than before it was frozen, but should soak up a lot more. Just know, you don't have to. If anything in this dish, the braising liquid keeps it rehydrated, keeps it nice and moist on the inside. Vegetables, zucchini. Use any vegetable, highly recommend. Because I brown it, brown zucchini adds really good flavor and it has its own sweetness. Also brings a different texture. I blanched some broccoli, added it in, did about 8 ounces. That works too. The bushes of the broccoli will collect some of the braised liquid, bite into it, and you'll get a burst of flavor. You choose. I like this more. Quarter zucchini shrinks as it cooks. Cut on the bigger side. You want to do about 3/4 of an inch. This big. Pay attention to your cuts. Let me measure it for you right now. Medium large zucchini, 1.5 cups. I would do 2. 1 cup of coconut milk, light or full fat. Fattest flavor, keep that in mind. Last thing too, in this dish, this is a primary but subtle flavor. I don't have 1 cup. I took some homemade chicken stock, simmered it down. Homemade chicken stock has gelatin. The more you simmer it down, the thicker it gets, naturally. Plus 1/4 cup of water. Want the liquid high enough that it's gonna braise all the tofu. 12-inch pan, any smaller, cook the tofu in batches. Got some shallot oil right here. You want 2 tablespoons of oil, medium high. 1 smoking. Add your tofu. Sear 2 to 4 minutes aside. Sear all sides until golden brown. I much prefer a lighter golden brown than a darker one because too much crust formation, softened in the braising liquid, be like soggy fried chicken. Will have its own layer of its own as you're biting through, but won't ruin the experience. And here I want you to do all sides. Keep in mind this is tofu. We want to maximize flavor. Set the tofu aside, 1/2 tablespoon of oil, add your zucchini, stir fry about 4 to 5 minutes. It's gonna simmer a tiny bit in the braise. You don't need to fully soften it. I don't know if you can see that. See those spots nice and golden brown. Go for some charring if you want. Set it aside. Another 1/2 tablespoon, shallots or onions. Shallots 1 or 2 minutes. Onions 2 or 3. Once it gets a good amount of a golden color, another 1/2 tablespoon, add your garlic and serrano and ginger. Stir fry for 30 seconds. Sauce, let that brown for a couple seconds. Oh, really fragrant. Add your coconut milk, tofu. This pan is too big, so take a smaller pan, scrape all that stuff out and add it to the pan. Lower the heat to medium low. Make sure most of the tofu is submerged. Simmer 10 minutes. Give it a mix every 2-3 minutes. Halfway through, add your zucchini back. Now, if you need to add more liquid, add more liquid. Once you add the zucchini, it's gonna release a little bit of liquid. Here with the frozen tofu, it really did act as a sponge. It soaked up most of that liquid. I've never dealt with that with tests before. The amount is up to you. The most amount of braising liquid that you can end with, I would say is 1/2 cup, personally. Even if it's a little dry, it's fine. The flavor's more concentrated. It's up to you. I'm done. I should DC and devein those serranos. They have a lot of spice for some reason. So I'm not adding those fresh chilies. For the fresh component, I really want you to thinly slice some green onions. This one totally has a different color. It's either added too much soy sauce or I browned it more than I browned it in this one. No matter what, if you make this, you follow the instructions, and you were subpar or you were perfect, it's gonna come out delicious. So yeah, that just shows I don't always produce the same results. Also, that's the broccoli. The other theory, I just didn't have enough coconut milk. I think that's what it is. I'm confident it is that. I'm just gonna stack it high without the rice. It's looking a little dark, so I'm gonna brighten it up.